Calmly, I step out from my hiding spot. Nakabachi looks at me in disbelief. His eyes are wide and bloodshot.
お前、さっきの。お前のせいで私の発表会は台無しだ。
Nakabachi lets go of Kurisu.
よくも抜けと私の前に顔を出せたな。どいつもこいつも私の邪魔ばかりする。さてはお前、クリスと示し合わせていたな。そうだ、そうなんだろう。許さんぞ、ガキども。
Nakabachi pulls the knife from his pocket. Its blade reflects cold light. Once I see that glint, I laugh disdainfully.
やってみるがいい。
小僧、何者だ。
我が名は法院京馬。
何？
知らないなら覚えておけ。フェニックスの法王に意味、そして凶悪なる真実で法院京馬だ。俺は混沌を望む者、世界の支配構造を破壊する者、そしてお前の野望を打ち砕く者。
Hi there. Kurisu staggers to her feet with her hands to her neck.
断る。
I dismiss Kurisu's plea and instead turn to Nakabachi with my arms spread wide.
どうしたドクター中町。お前の威勢は口だけか。この俺を殺すのではなかったのか。もっとも神に等しい力を持つこの俺を殺すことなどお前ごときには無理だろうがな。
Oh, the laugh, it's so good.
ふざけるな。
Nakabachi goes into a frenzy. He charges me with his knife point first. Nakabachi's completely lost his mind. I can see it in his eyes. He won't stop. And if he won't stop, then I'll stop him with my own body.
貴様には俺を殺すことはできない。絶対にな。
死ねー。
The knife approaches. Its point glitters menacingly in the dim light. Inches away, I don't move a muscle. This is my last chance. I'll do whatever it takes. Ooh, the thought of that just, Intense pain rips through my abdomen. I feel the cold steel sink into my body. He did it. He stabbed me with the knife that killed Kurisu. The pain flares. It feels like my insides are being torn out. Nakabachi yanks out the knife. Blood gushes from the open wound. The iron taste of blood spreads through my mouth. Pain threatens to steal away my consciousness. My body's on fire. My vision blurs. I struggle desperately to stay on my feet.
ざまみろ。私をバカにするからだ。
I whip out the stun gun and switch it on. The electric arc crackles to life inches from Nakabachi's face. He instantly turns pale. I spear him with my glare and take a step forward. A wave of nausea surges over me. Blood spews from my throat. But I don't look away. I keep my eyes fixed on Nakabachi.
よくもやってくれたな。殺して やるよ、じじい。貴様もそっちの娘も全員皆殺しだ。動い
ちゃダメよ。
Kurisu runs up to me. She holds me and supports my body.
横になって、今すぐ救急車を呼ぶから。
What is she doing, trying to help me? Didn't she hear me threaten to kill her? You're too soft-hearted for Tsundere. Back when I was trying to save my Yuri, you were always the one who saved me. So this time...
お前は俺が助ける。
何を。
Kurisu convulses. Strength leaves the legs she used to support me. She collapses. I'm sorry. I send her my silent apology.
娘は後でたっぷりいたぶって殺してやる。仲間ち、まずは貴様だ。
Nakabachi tosses his knife away with a pitiful cry. He takes a step back. 2 steps back. Firing the stun gun once more does the trick. Nakabachi turns and flees down the hallway towards the elevators. But first, he makes sure to pick up the envelope Kurisu dropped. How shrewd of him. I touch my wound. Ooh. The lightest touch sends pain coursing through my body. I fall to my knees. I feel faint. The bleeding won't stop. The blood is starting to pool on the floor. I press my hands into the blood.
まだ足りない。
I reach for my stomach, wet and glistening with blood. I take a breath, then drive my fingers into the wound. The pain is like nothing I've ever experienced. Unable to bear it, I throw back my head. Oh, that part always makes me a little bit queasy. I scream until my throat is raw. I can't stop now. Fighting against the urge to faint, I feed strength into my hands and pull the wound wider. Ooh. My blood paints the floor crimson.
おかりおじさん。
Suzawa runs up to me.
その傷、何やってんの？何やってんのよ。バカ、よりによってこんな失敗するなんて。おじさん。
何を勘違いしている。スザ、この床を見て気づかないのか。
床？
十分な出血量だ。そう思うだろう。
She looks down and beholds my masterpiece.
血だまりが。
To deceive myself. To deceive the world. The stage is set.
でもこれじゃおじさんが死んじゃうよ。
死ぬわけないだろうが、俺を誰だと思っている。狂気のマッドサイエンティスト、大院京馬だぞ。
おじさん。
If convergence hold, then it's already determined that I don't die. Not here. I die in 2025. That's a fixed event on the Beta World line. That was my bet. I intentionally provoked Nakabachi to rage. I took the knife meant for Kursu and survived. The wound gave me what I needed to carry out the plan, which, was fairly quick thinking on his feet, I'd have to say. Especially just being able to mentally bear the idea of getting yourself stabbed. Though I have to admit, I didn't think it would hurt this much. There's no telling what will happen when we reach Steins Gate. The future of that world line is still undecided. There's no reason it can't include my death. How ironic. I made a bet based on the guarantee that I wouldn't die, but winning that bet makes death a very real possibility. I twist my lips into a smile. Time to put the finishing touch on my masterpiece.
鈴葉、クリスの体を。
Suzawa picks up the unconscious Kurisu. Then, she lays her face down on top of my blood puddle. Kurisu doesn't wake up. She's perfectly still. But she's definitely breathing. I stroke her hair gently.
痛かったか。すまなかった。だが、お前を救うためだったんだ。たとえ、あの3週間の日々は、戻らなくても、お前に生きていてほしかったから。
Even if we reach Steins Gate, even if Kurisu lives, even if I don't die, we'll never meet again. Kurisu will never join the lab. We will never build the time leap machine together. But still, I'm glad I was able to save her.
さよなら。
Please stay unconscious for a while. I need you to deceive the first me. While Suzawa goes to pick up the knife, I use the wall to climb to my feet.
作戦完了。これより帰還する。
Just wait. I know you're there. Best of luck. You'll need it. The next 3 weeks are gonna be the hardest 3 weeks of your life.
おじさん、無茶しすぎだよ。バカにも程がある。
バカとは失礼だな。すべて計画通りだろう。
Well, obviously. I mean, every plan has to have a good backup plan, right?
喋らないで。すぐに戻るから。8月21日に戻るから。なんとか G に耐えてね。ああ、くそ。せめて応急手当ができたらよかったんだけど、これにはそんなの載せてないんだよ。
I feel pressure crush my body. My wound throbs. I feel like groaning, but I bite my lip and bear it. Rainbow lights fill my vision. The time machine is activating. Suza wraps my wound with a towel.
ねえ、おじさん。この先にはさ、きっとシュタインズゲートが待ってる。私もおじさんも、誰も知らない世界が待ってる。おじさんは生きていて、マキセ・クリスも生きていて、椎名真由里も生きていて、私は2010年にタイムトラベルしてくることはなくて、第三次世界大戦が起きるかどうかはわかんない世界線だけど、セルンのディストピアが構築されるかどうかわかんない世界線だけど。
Someone's warm hand grasped mine. Tightly. Tightly.
未来にはさ、希望が満ちてるって信じられるような世界が待ってるよ。
I slowly close my eyes. It's hard to breathe. But my pain feels distant now.
そこに到達したら、きっと私は消える。一緒にシュタインズゲートにたどり着いたことをお祝いすることはできないはずだから、ここでお礼を言っておくよ。
The warmth of her hand slowly fades away.
ありがとう、おじさん。死なないで、生きてでさ、きっと7年後に会おうね。
Much as I might like to, I'm afraid I can't stick around. So let me get a thank you out now while I can. It's been a trip. Thank you. See you in 7 years.
It's time to go home. My Yuri and Daru are waiting. And with them, a future that is yet to be written. Oh, that was nice. Oh, and I like the little sparkles. Those are really neat looking. Well, that was the Steins Gate true ending. Now, if my knowledge of the anime is anything like how the visual novel is, there will more than likely be a lot coming up after this. Or at least some. And I'm gonna shut up for these credits in case you want to listen to the song. And it looks like we got a new divergence number. It's been a month since then. My wound was deep enough to require surgery. If I'd been just 1 hour late getting to the hospital, I would have died from blood loss. The doctor laughed as he told me this. Hilarious. Thanks, Doc. After being cooped up in the hospital for so long, it's exciting to be walking around Akiba again. I look around to see if Akiba's any different from what I remember, but nothing catches my eye. I just get the feeling that there are more moe shops than before. The mysteries of divergence. I chuckle to myself, then dig into my pocket. Something jingles. There are metal pins inside, 8 of them. The Future Gadget Laboratory's member badges. They're designed based on the pins Suzaha brought from the future. Which world line Suzaha was that again? Anyway, back then, we searched all over Akiba for that pin. And while I was hospitalized, I thought it was the perfect opportunity to ask Daru to have them made. And of course, the one we commissioned to make them was that shady foreign street vendor. The final product is slightly different from Suzaha's, but it's pretty well done. I pass through the archway of the Yanabayashi Shrine and head to the courtyard. There, brandishing a sword with sublime dignity, stands a Miko. The Miko is so lovely that anyone would doubtless stop to stare. But that's not a Miko, and that's not a real sword. That sword is a 98 yen imitation, and that beautiful Miko is a guy. Lukako lifts his head at the sound of my footsteps.
Okabe-san!
As soon as our eyes meet, he runs up to me in a fluster. His eyes are already wet with tears.
今日、退院だったんですか？
ああ、
そんな、すみません。僕、何も知らなくて。
知らなくて当然だ。教えていないからな。
でも、無事に退院できて、よかったです。僕、嬉しい。
And then, he starts crying in earnest. Seeing his tears, I feel an urge to pat his head and tell him everything will be alright. But I resist and sigh instead.
それを天然でやっているんだから、そりゃ鮮烈なコスプレデビューも飾るわけだ。
Mayuri filled me in on the situation. After years of persistent nagging, she finally convinced Lukako to cosplay near the end of summer break. It wasn't in time for Kamima, but he wore one of Mayuri's costumes to a cosplay event in early September. His cosplay debut was effective. Dozens of photographers took his picture, and the images soon went viral on the net. Try to look up pictures of Lukako now, and you'll get a ton of hits. He's being swarmed by fans, and since he's what they call a trap, he's popular with girls too. There are some things in this world I just don't understand.
正直、すごく戸惑ってます。
だが、お前のコスプレ姿、俺も生で見てみたかったぞ。
無理です。岡部さんになんて、そんな恥ずかしくて死んじゃいます。
だが楽しかったのだろ？まゆりがそう言っていた。はい。成長したな、ルカ子。
He's overcome his feelings of inaccuracy and accepted himself for who he is. And he even had fun doing it.
岡部さん、じゃなくて、京馬さんが教えてくれた精神残魔流のおかげです。神道滅却できました。
He truly is a worthy disciple.
だがまだまだ油断するな。次なる目標は精神残魔流の極意継承。それさえ得得すれば、お前は 己の中に封印されている邪悪な炎に焼かれることもないだろう。その時こそ首都秋葉原を守る巫女漆原瑠香の物語は始まるのだ。
始まるって何がでしょうか。
それはしかるべき時が来たら教える。
I reach into my pocket and take out a pen.
ラボメンナンバー006漆原瑠香、お前にこれを授けよう。
Lukako nervously accepts the pen with a confused expression.
僕ラボメンにいつ入ったんでしょう。
Don't worry about it. Just accept it.
その記憶は遥か彼方、あるいは前世まで遡るかもしれない。
前世？
お前は生まれた時からすでにラボメンだったのだ。故に誇るがいい。
It's not an exaggeration. It's the truth. Lukako most likely doesn't remember. But it's okay, even if I'm the only one who does.
嫌か？
いえ、すごく嬉しくて。
He starts crying again.
僕ずっと京馬さんの研究所の仲間に憧れていて、入りたいなって思っていて、でも勇気がなかったから言い出せなかったんです。ありがとうございます。
He bows his head.
それは世界にたったの8個しかない貴重なものだ。お前を最悪から守ってくれるマジックアイテムでもある。
そうなんですか？
No.
だからなくすなよ。
Lukako nods with a joyful smile on his face. Too cute.
This identifies you as lab member 006.
Wait, when did I become a lab member?
Well, you probably wouldn't yet remember your induction. Give it time, though.